In 1925, one of the world's most respected explorers disappeared into the Amazon rainforest. He wasn't alone. His son and a close family friend vanished with him, leaving behind one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. For more than a century, explorers, historians, and investigators have searched for answers. Many believed they would eventually uncover the truth. Instead, each new expedition only deepened the mystery. What happened to Colonel Percy Fawcett? Did he fall victim to the dangers of the rainforest, encounter hostile resistance, or come closer to discovering something extraordinary than anyone ever realized? To understand why this disappearance continues to fascinate the world, we have to begin long before the expedition itself, with the man who believed the impossible could be real. Percy Harrison Fawcett was no ordinary adventurer. Born in England in 1867, he served as a British Army officer before becoming a skilled surveyor and explorer at a time when much of South America remained poorly mapped. For years, the Royal Geographical Society sent Fawcett into some of the most remote regions of Bolivia, Brazil, and Peru. His work demanded patience, discipline, and remarkable endurance under dangerous conditions. Unlike many explorers chasing fame or fortune, Fawcett became convinced that the Amazon held the remains of sophisticated ancient civilizations. Most scholars dismissed the idea as fantasy, but Fawcett believed indigenous traditions, unusual artifacts, and historical records pointed toward a forgotten city hidden deep within the rainforest. He simply called it Sea. By 1925, Fawcett believed he had gathered enough evidence to launch one final expedition. This would not be another mapping mission. It would be his greatest attempt to prove his theory. Rather than assembling a large team, he chose to travel with only two companions, his 21-year-old son, Jack Fawcett, and Jack's close friend, Raleigh Rimell. Fawcett believed a small group could move quietly through unfamiliar territory and reduce the chances of conflict with indigenous communities living deep inside the forest. Before leaving, he gave one unusual instruction. If his expedition disappeared, no rescue party should rush in after them. He feared such missions could cost even more lives. The expedition entered Brazil and began moving steadily toward the remote interior. Supplies were carefully packed, routes had been planned, and spirits appeared high as they pushed farther into the wilderness. Along the way, Fawcett mailed letters describing difficult travel but growing confidence. He remained convinced they were approaching the region where the legendary city of Z might finally be found. The rainforest tested every step they took. Thick vegetation, unpredictable rivers, insects, disease, and exhausting heat made every mile harder than the last. Yet the expedition continued. Fawcett's experience allowed him to navigate conditions that would have overwhelmed less seasoned explorers. Eventually, the group reached a place known today as Dead Horse Camp, named after one of Fawcett's earlier expeditions. From there, he sent what would become his final confirmed letter. In that message, Fawcett sounded optimistic. He assured his family that everything was proceeding according to plan and expressed confidence about continuing deeper into unexplored territory. After that letter, silence. Weeks passed without another message, then months. No one knew whether the expedition had reached its destination or if something had gone terribly wrong. Friends and supporters grew increasingly concerned. Although Fawcett had warned against rescue attempts, many believed they could no longer wait. Search expeditions began entering the Amazon, following the known route as closely as possible while questioning indigenous communities living along the way. Some reported hearing that 3 foreign travelers had continued deeper into the forest. Others claimed they had never seen the expedition at all. Each new account seemed to contradict the last. Every promising lead eventually dissolved into uncertainty, leaving investigators with more questions than answers. Despite months of searching, no confirmed campsite, equipment, or remains belonging to Percy Fawcett's party were ever found. As the years passed, theories about the disappearance multiplied. One possibility suggested the explorers had been killed after unknowingly violating the customs of an indigenous community. Several oral traditions appeared to support that idea, but no physical evidence has ever confirmed exactly what happened or where such an encounter may have occurred. Another explanation was far simpler. The Amazon itself is unforgiving. Disease, starvation, injury, or exhaustion could have claimed the expedition long before anyone reached them. Some historians also considered the possibility of a river accident. Powerful currents have swallowed countless boats and travelers, often leaving little evidence behind. A more controversial theory claimed the explorers chose to remain among an isolated indigenous community. While intriguing, historians generally regard this explanation as unlikely. Every theory solves part of the mystery but leaves another piece unexplained. More than a century later, none has been proven beyond doubt. Fawcett's disappearance soon became a legend in its own right. Adventurers from around the world believed they could succeed where he had failed. Expedition after expedition entered the rainforest searching for clues. Some returned empty-handed, others never returned at all. Historians estimate that more than 100 people may have died or disappeared over the decades while searching for Fawcett or the legendary city of Zed, though the exact number remains uncertain. The search had become larger than the man himself. It transformed into one of history's greatest exploration mysteries, inspiring books, documentaries, and countless investigations. For decades, critics argued that Fawcett's belief in an advanced Amazonian civilization was nothing more than wishful thinking. Modern archaeology has challenged that assumption. Researchers have uncovered evidence of large pre-Columbian settlements, engineered landscapes, and extensive earthworks across parts of the Amazon basin, revealing that complex societies once flourished there. These discoveries do not prove that Fawcett's City of Z existed exactly as he imagined it. However, they suggest he may have been searching for something grounded in historical reality. Ironically, history has given partial support to the explorer's biggest idea, while leaving the fate of the explorer himself completely unknown. Today, Percy Fawcett, Jack Fawcett, and Raleigh Rimell remain missing. No confirmed graves have been found, and no evidence has provided a final answer to what happened after that last letter. Whether they were defeated by the rainforest, met with tragedy, or ventured closer to a forgotten civilization than anyone else ever had, the Amazon has kept their secret for more than 100 years, and perhaps somewhere beneath its endless canopy, the final chapter of their story is still waiting to be discovered.